Whereabouts did you say that you are? Florida.
I'm in Florida right now. So, but I'm from Canada, Toronto.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I used to go to Florida all the time in my off season. We used to go to Florida all the time. My mate, he had a house in Florida. I think he still got it. But Nigel, he lives over there now. I'm sure he's in Florida. Pretty sure of it.
What part of Florida though?
Where is he? Where is he? I don't think is he. No, is he Fort Lauderdale? Or maybe that rings a bell. He may be there. I'm pretty sure he's there. We used to go by. Oh man, it's been too many years. I can't even remember. Where I know is because we used to drive from Hayes. We used to drive from there to Tampa. It used to take us about hour 45, and then from Tampa, we used to drive to Miami on the I-95 all the way there and stay for the weekend, long weekend, and then drive all the way back.
Yeah. That's a lot of driving.
Good time.
Right there. That's a lot of driving. That's good.
Yeah. Used to take turns. There was a lot of us. There was probably like five of us that used to go on holiday. So the driving got shared. So it's pretty good.
Nice. And where are you right now? Currently, you're in England. Yeah.
That's
part of England?
Well, I wouldn't even say sunny. It's like almost near the Midlands. I'm from London, so I lived in London my whole time, and then just moved up into Northampton now, and then just operating out of here because my facility that I train athletes in is in Rugby, which is like literally half an hour down the road. So it's a quick journey in and quick journey back home, and obviously alleviates any motorway or anything like that. So there's not that much traffic, so it's pretty good.
Yeah, I've been to England 2 times. London's beautiful, very nice, very very nice. But it's always raining, always.
Yeah. I know. It's even now. It's like it's sunny. Even now it's sunny, but it's just cold. We have to wait until summer actually is officially here. Then it starts to warm up a little bit, but it does rain a lot here. I'm not gonna lie, it does rain a lot. I mean, it was raining this morning. That just tells you everything. It's meant to be raining all week.
All right. So I want to be respectfully.
So what? Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I want to be respectfully of your time. I know the call's for 30 minutes. Did you have a little bit of extra time to add on to that, like 10 minutes to it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Okay, so let's dive into it. All right. So are you cool? So is it cool for you to introduce yourself? I'll do the little introduction.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. So, hello, my name is Kareem Rae, and I'm the founder of onesoccernation. Our objective is to help aspiring soccer players to achieve success in the beautiful game we both love. All right. So today we're here with Wade. Wade, can you please introduce yourself to the audience?
Yeah, good. I am Wade Small. I used to be a former professional football player, now retired, and then have my own facility. I used to play for teams such as Sheffield Wednesday, MK Dons, Wimbledon, Charlton, Blackpool, Aldershot, Chesterfield, and then just end up retiring at the age of 30 just due to some knee issues, and thought I might as well get myself and give myself back to the game and try and help out aspiring athletes and players to kind of show them what it actually takes as well to be at the top level. And obviously from me, again, from anyone that you have in your elders, they're the people that you kind of listen to, because they have made all the mistakes, so they're trying to guide you on the path. But again, everyone else path's different, and people are allowed to make their own mistakes, but we kind of guide players and sportsmen and women into the right sort of direction, and they can make their own mistakes and just avoid certain things. So yeah, that's me, former professional footballer turned coach to some athletes and boxers and sportsmen and women.
Nice, that's amazing. And it always seems to be that it's an injury. Sports injuries. But how long was your career though?
So basically, I was at a professional club from the age of 9 years old all the way to a professional club when I was 30 years old. So it was probably like just over sort of 20 years, my full football career lasted, and then professional was just over 10 years. And then obviously was at a professional team, and then you have to earn your contract and everything else. So I earned my contract at the age of 17, 18 years old. And then that was it. Just went with in terms of professional clubs, and then just ended up retiring at the age of 30, just due to some niggling injuries that I had. And then that was it. And then on to the next phase of my life.
Understood. And we're just that, we're just, Matt, we're diving back in time. So can you tell us a little bit about the beginning of your, where soccer all started for you? Or I know in England, they say football. I mean, that's
Football,
truly what the name of the sport is, but I mean, that's what we call it over here in Canada.
Yeah, it means the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it basically started, I mean, in terms of when it first began, it was my uncle, my mum always told me, was taking me to the park at the age of about 3-4 years old. Coaching down at Arsenal Football Club. And then he used to take me all the time, but unfortunately he passed away. And then I just carried on with the football, and kind of just was I was addicted to it. I literally wouldn't leave it alone. So it was kind of just that was it, really. I think I had a passion from when I was younger, and I literally never stopped. Like I'm talking about never stopped. And I think that's the difference between the average person that wants to be a footballer and the person that actually has a passion for football. There's two different things. Like, just wanting to be a footballer will only get you so far. Having a passion will get you further, and obviously some dedication and discipline and sacrifice as well is a major thing in actually becoming a professional. You can't become a professional without sacrifice, I don't think so. All those nights out, and when some of your friends that you're growing up with that actually get to go out on, and you're like, nope, can't do that, can't, have to stay in and just stay in disciplined, and it's hard work as well, which a lot of people nowadays will just see the glitz and glamour of the actual football, and this person's on $100,000 a week, and this person's on $150,000 or pounds a week, and only see that aspect rather than the come up of how he actually got to getting $150,000 a week. I think people just jump to that straight away rather than actually seeing sort of like the behind the scenes, which I think slowly but surely people are starting to do now, because there are professionals that are getting training outside of their club or their actual trainers, and sort of obviously with the social media and putting it up there so they can see how hard it is and the hard work as well. So it's not an easy career, but it is sort of like one of the best careers, I would say. I'd say, if not for me being a little bit biased, it is the best career. But there are its ups and downs, just like any career, I guess. And you just learn and adapt and move forward, really.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And everything that you just mentioned, I'm not too sure if you know of. I do talk about in my book. I'm not too sure. Did you get a chance to see it on the LinkedIn?
No, I haven't. No, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's called I Want to.
No, you got to show me. Send me.
Yeah, I will. It's called I'll send you a copy too. It's called I Want to Become a Professional Soccer Player: The Ultimate Guide to Become a Professional Soccer Player. I wrote it back in 2018 when I was 18 years old. Published. Yeah. It took time to build up the confidence to then go and publish it on Amazon and share it with the world, right?
Of course.
Yeah, so 2019 published it, and then ever since I've been rolling with it, snowball effect. And you talk about sacrifice, and was it easy for you, or was it like, I'm missing out?
No, I think it was, for me personally, I felt like I was missing out a little bit, but at the same time, I just had too much of a drive and a passion just to be a footballer. And even I was sort of like in a YTS, I don't know if you can, a different term would possibly be like when you go to maybe say NFL, and they go to college and stuff. There's a certain period between 16 and 19 basically, and it's a YTS. It's a scholarship basically, same as like US. So you got basically within those 3 years in order to kind of earn your contract. If you're good enough, you could get your contract at 16, or you could get it, if they're undecided, you could get it at like 19 or a bit later. So you do have certain avenues that you have to go down. But for me, it was very easy to stay disciplined and just slip straight into this football life. And I think it was good that at the age of 16, you leave school and then you just get thrown straight in. So you're actually at the training ground and stuff with men. So it kind of makes you grow up very quickly, because you can't sit there and if someone tells you what to do or to go and get that ball, run this, run that. If you're actually feeling sorry for yourself, it's never going to work. If you're sort of like always, if you can't take criticism as well, it's never going to work. You kind of need to learn how to adapt and become a man straight away when it comes to YTS setups, because you do get thrown in straight from school, where you're hanging around all your mates all the time and it's all people around your same age, straight to you could be now in a team with a 35-year-old that's had a career for the last 20 years, 15, 20 years, and he's telling you what to do and stuff. So yeah, I think it's really good, and it's very easy to slip into as long as you just throw your all into it. I mean, if you want it that bad, just like anything, I think you'll adapt very quickly.
And that's the process that you went through, correct?
Yeah, that's it. Left school and then had a YTS contract for the 3 years, and then from there, just you get your 3 years to kind of earn your contract, your pro contract, and then earned it within then, and then just become a pro, and then that was it, man. The rest is history.
So from 16 to 19, which is 3 years. So who was that with, though? What's the name of the club?
Wimbledon. Back in the day, they're known for in England to be called the Crazy Gang. So the likes of like Vinnie Jones. You know Vinnie Jones?
Vinnie Jones. I'm gonna look.
Vinnie Jones, the actor. Well, he's not. He's that.
No.
So do you know? Is it Snatch? Is it Snatch? The film? He's in a couple films. It's called Snatch, and I'm sure one of the famous ones is Snatch. He's in. So he's in those, but he used to play football. So he played at Wimbledon. He was almost like the icon legend, like him. There's another guy over in America that's actually in the MLS that I think he is a commentator on the games over there. His name's Robbie Earl. Have you heard of Robbie Earl?
No.
No, you see, yeah. So if you get like the MLS, I think he's in commentators. Yeah, he's basically in the MLS. He's been in America for a while now, commentating. But he used to be at Wimbledon, and I think, and possibly he retired. So when he left Wimbledon, his number was vacant, so it was a number 8, and I got that number straight away. So it's a privilege, and he played for Jamaica as well, so it's pretty good.
That's amazing. That's amazing, Smith.
Yeah, played for Jamaica, Wimbledon. Yeah.
So Wade.
So that was one of my good, amazing accomplishments.
Yeah, that's amazing. So, you talked about playing with older guys at a young age. Did you have any mentors within the team, or was it outside of football?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the boys that I was growing up with, as soon as I went to Wimbledon, they were mentors to me anyway. There was a lot of us that were there that kind of either grew up in the same area or the same, that kind of could relate to each other. So we were getting, us youngsters were getting more mentored by them on how things are. But again, we just adapt and learn very quickly. And we had a good manager-based system at our club as well, which I would say that they were sort of our mentors in it as well. And I literally, for me, I couldn't ask for a better youth team or a better sort of experience coming up as a youngster at the age of 16, coming through the ranks and having a YTS system set up for me and coming through Wimbledon. I think for me, it was like one of the best systems and setups and one of the best experiences that I've ever had in my life. And I would never, ever, ever, ever take that away or change anything that's happened within that as well. So it's pretty good.
That sounds amazing. And I can imagine the amount of growth that you had in that time period.
Yeah. Yeah, oh yeah. So in terms of like sort of speed and just it's just the whole thing of changing, going from just your normal sort of playing football to now going to actually a professional setup and being amongst and and coming in and training every day and certain rules and cleaning up the sort of the showers and cleaning the manager's boots and moving goals and collecting ball. Everyone had a job as well. It wasn't just possibly what maybe people think about football is just coming in, playing football, and then going home. That's it. Like as a youth team, you have chores and it's kind of building you as a man as well. So you do have responsibilities within that. You don't just turn up for training and someone cleans your boots and someone moves the goals for you and people collect the balls for you. Like those balls go like there's 24 within a packet at the beginning of the stage. There needs to be 24 when we're ready to pack up. And I think that was humbling as well as a child, because you come up, you're in school. Obviously, school's a bit different, but now you're a sort of a man, but within a different field. You're not a man in an office where possibly a lot of people could be sort of your age and such, and maybe you go college with a few of them. These are grown men, and it does make you adapt very quickly. And I think it's quite good. I liked it. I like the setup. I like the discipline about it as well. And I think people could probably do with a lot more of it, just so you don't get into just doing what you want, saying what you want. Like there's a certain protocol that you would follow, and then by the end of it, it's obviously up to you how you take on certain information and stuff. But yeah, it's definitely the way forward.
Yeah. And when did you sign your first professional contract? What year and how old were you?
Ooh, it was, I think I was 18. So it was about, it might have been, geez, this is like 90. It might have been like 2000 maybe. What are we into? Maybe 2000 maybe. Yeah, maybe around 2000. I'm pretty sure it was. That doesn't even seem that long ago when I say 2000, because I remember back. But now I'm looking at it's 2021. It's a long time ago. And yeah, I was 18 years old. 18, 19 years old, I think. I was maybe just coming on to my 19th birthday. But yeah, very, 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 very young. But there are players out there that sort of sign their contracts at the age of 16. So that's even younger. It's just keeps you more disciplined. You have to have even more discipline as a 16-year-old. And there's a lot more pressure on you being a young pro as well, without that sort of like added experience of anything.
What are the pressures that come with it? Being that young and then signing, a professional contract. That's the dream right there. What kind of pressure comes with it through your experience from being at 18 back in 2000?
Okay, so I mean, when I was 18 and I signed, there wasn't, because a lot of us there was a couple more that signed when they was 18. I wouldn't say there was a pressure on you directly, because once you do sign that contract, it's almost like a weight lifted off your shoulder, because you got to think of, there's a whole load of boys that are within the team that don't get pro contracts. So it's almost like an honor to actually be and have a pro contract at that age. So for me, I didn't really feel pressure when I signed my contract. I felt pressure more before the contract came, versus actually when you get the contract. When you get the contract, it's almost like a relief, and you're like, oh yeah, right, I've got it. And now this is when the work starts. So in terms of, I'd say, if you want to say pressure, I'd say you would have that, be like, right, this is where the work starts. But I was more than excited to get my pro contract. It was almost like me getting my pro contract was almost like me getting my first pair of boots. That's how I felt. I felt very excited and confident and right. I think it was a sense of self-achievement as well, because it's your talent that basically gets you that contract and nothing else. There's no one else can just say to you, oh yeah, nudge you on the shoulder and be like, oh yeah, do you want this contract to make that? You got to earn it. So I think that came from it as well. And I think it's a sense of achievement and having that self-belief in yourself, getting you that contract. So I don't think there was any pressure as such. It was just more exciting times ahead. I think that's how you got to look at it.
Yeah, all positive things. And did any, once you put pen to paper, did anything change? Did did you feel a certain way about a thing, like now I'm getting paid, so now I have to reach these amount of stats? Like, did anything change in the pressure, or what you had to do on or off the field? What changed as soon as you signed?
So yeah, I say the thing that changed was my wage packet, obviously, and then obviously that was a good thing, being young and having a pro contract. But remember, we live in different times now. So in 2000, there wasn't any social media or anything else that you had to like post anything on. You just see, now the times have changed. You have that added pressure of people make themselves sort of they bring pressure upon themselves because of social media and because what's on there, and having to fulfill a certain lifestyle, having to live by a certain way. Whereas we got the contract and it was like, the only thing you see is family. So that was the main thing for me. It was like in my head I was like, I want to buy my mum and dad a house, and I want to buy my mum and dad a car. That is literally in my head. As soon as I signed that contract, I was like, that's what I wanted to do. I didn't get to buy my mum and dad a house. I kind of helped them with their house, but I bought my mum and dad a car.
Nice.
So that was kind of like good times. And that was one of my things that I was like adamant, or I wanted to do as a footballer. Was the first thing was, as soon as I got the contract, was give back to my mum and dad. That was it. Because I think when you're a footballer, most people in football come from a certain background. So they're not necessarily wealthy and all their mums and dads are loaded and loads of money. You come from a certain background playing football. So you kind of have this thing of, when you grow up, you want to give. For me personally, I wanted to give back to my mum and dad because of the sacrifice that my mum, when she took me to football, and when my dad and my mum was driving. I remember my dad's car broke down and he was trying to fix it on the side of the road because he had ended up taking me to some game that was so far, and his car broke down. So it was more of, as soon as I got that, it was appreciation and just look to my parents to see if how much I can help them out. Because when you grow up, for you to realize that your parents don't have money and still willing to do the most for you, I think it takes some gratitude and a little bit of humbling, and kind of you have to look at yourself and be like, is this really, if we talk about football, is this really just about me? It's not. It's not at all. I got my mum and dad that are there, that have been struggling most of their life. So I'm about to change things. And I think in terms of pressure, maybe that would be a little bit of pressure to say, like, I have to make it because I want my mum and my dad to live in a big mansion and a nice house and stuff like that. I think maybe possibly that might be the kind of pressure that you have, depending on the type of person you are, right? Some people are not family people. They're more self-driven and everything for themselves, but it's not taking it away from them. And some people are a bit of both, and some people are solely family-driven. You just have to kind of figure out which one's for you, really, and which one serves your life.
Exactly, and through those experiences, it sounds that those built you up, built up the mindset of, this is not only for me, but this is for the family as well. And
yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Oh, we lost you there. Would you agree with what I just said, or disagree?
Yeah, no, 100%, definitely. I think there's a lot of times that you can look and see, when you see like young footballers, and if they do get big contracts when they're young, like really young, say under 21, there's a lot of the times that you'll probably ask them and be like, yeah, they'd say, oh yeah, help my mum and dad get a house, bought my mum and dad a car. Like, those are on the list of things. And I think it'd be very unlikely, unless the parents were sort of like rich to saying they didn't want anything, very unlikely you wouldn't see that happening. So it is a proud moment. It's a good thing, especially for you to be giving back to your parents. I always say, like, there's certain times when it's like your birthday and everyone's like, me. I'm like, your birthday wouldn't be your birthday if your mum didn't give birth for you on that day. I think most of the time you should be going up to your mum and thanking her on your birthday, rather than you just celebrating it and everything being about you on your birthday. It should be about the person that brought you into this world.
100%, 100% agree with you. And Mother's Day was just yesterday too. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. There you go. Exactly.
Yeah. So, was there anything that you did differently to get where you wanted to go, or was it just a simple process of mastering the basics? Like, what was your, what did you wait?
So
Let
for
me
me,
wait.
I was.
Sorry, wait. Let me ask that question again. I made it way too complicated. All right, so I'm gonna cut that out. So, what did you do differently to get where you wanted to go?
Okay. I would say I probably played more football than the average person. Um, and I trained even in my back garden. I mean, there's probably wasn't many times where you wouldn't see me playing football. So I think if anything different wouldn't be me actually having training, and that was the only time I played football. I think I always played football, even if I had time in my back garden or there was nothing to do. I was in my back garden playing football. Versus you'd have say kids nowadays where they have so much technology that the technology takes up the time. So you think about a lot of these kids that are on technology. While they're on technology, I was in the garden playing football. That's me. That was my upbringing from in terms of how I sort of found my passion, and I never stopped. I even created just in my head. It was like I'm just going to do 100 kick-ups. I can't remember how old I was, but I did not stop that whole day until I reached 100. If I got to 40, then I'd start again. If I got to 94 or 99 and I didn't get it, I would start again from one and go over again. I think it's just that dedication that I carried and having that sort of self-discipline. I think that's what's good about some sports. I think you can have that self-discipline installed into you just through sport alone. Like most of the time, you didn't even need to be told by your parents. Like if you have that passion, no one needs to tell me to go and clean my boots. My mom doesn't need to tell me to go and wash my boots. I already know I have to wash them because I love these boots so much that I want them to be clean every single time I step on the pitch, whether it be training or whether it be a game. So I think that in itself started self-discipline in myself just through good habits through that.
Yeah. Wow. Lots of amazing things being shared right now through this call. Wade, what are 3 things that you would share with aspiring soccer players growing up right now that want to become professional footballers? Wait, did I say soccer players and footballers? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, soccer players, footballers.
Let me redo it. I'm using
Same thing, right?
different. I know. But just because in England, respectfully, I want to use football in this call. All right. So wait,
so for me, yeah.
Let me just repeat it. I'm gonna cut it out when I edit it. But yeah. So what are 3 things that you would share with aspiring footballers that want to go pro?
Oh, just 3. Right. I would say the first one has to be passion. I can't even stress that enough. You can't give someone passion. Passions for me is only created in certain types of discipline when you have it within a sport. If you show discipline within a sport, there's probably passion behind it. So those two go hand in hand. So it would be passion and discipline. And then what I would say is a massive one is actually just believing in yourself. That's it. So you have passion, discipline, and believing in yourself. Those are my top 3. Without those, it'd be pretty hard to become a footballer. Because I think if you don't have any passion for what you're doing, then you're not really going to care. If you don't have discipline for what you're doing, then there's going to be no regime. There's not going to be you going out into the garden and practicing doing 99 kick-ups and maybe getting to looking around and be like, oh yeah, telling everyone that you've done 100 when you've done 99. So you got to have discipline as well there. And I think those are my top 3 within, if you want to be a professional footballer. I think without those, it's very hard. If you don't have self-belief as well, that again, you got a load of people keep telling you, no, maybe you're not good enough. I got told I was I wasn't tall enough. So that was a major factor for me. I'm like 5'7" and a bit. But when I started going, I was actually very, very, very powerful. So like I could sprint, I was very fast, I could jump high. So that was it. That's almost what I ended up focusing more on as I become sort of growing into a man. And at the age of 16, just realizing how quick I actually was. Because before then, everyone was like, oh yeah, he's quick, he's quick. I didn't realize it. I just was just running past people. But I think once you do realize it, you kind of have this discipline again, this self-belief, and then you just go for it basically. And I think that's those are the major ones to kind of stick to, especially for youngsters. I think that is the case, is having that discipline and not being told when to go play football. Like, you have the passion, so they have all the tools in order for them to kind of look up skills or anything they want to do and challenges. And maybe just for me, just spending a lot less time on gadgets and computers, and get back to sort of the natural thing, because there's nothing more natural than actually you have a football and you can use your left and right foot and know how to do it. That, to me, that's such a talent given. You probably got taught how to play football, but no one could expect what I was doing with the ball in between my feet. That's a God-given talent, and you have to use it.
Exactly. And so, leading to the time we're living in right now, 2021, where has football led you?
So it's led me to having some really, really, obviously really good friends in football. I've got a couple of my best friends that I've met when I was playing for Wimbledon, and still to this day we still talk. One of them is obviously what I was saying is in America, and then the other one's over here. So just that alone, obviously discipline, and it's led me to actually learning. I think it was Socrates, basically. I think it was a quote that he was saying, and he was basically saying, for a man to be an amateur and not be a pro is almost the biggest regret that anyone would have in their entire life. And I think it is very true, because there's a certain level that you reach when you get to a pro versus amateur. There's a certain level of self-belief, there's a certain level of discipline and stuff that comes with it when you're actually pro, and to actually feel your body that fit, like that's elite level fitness that you get to, and you literally feel like you can do if someone said, oh right, you have to run a marathon, I would be able to do it, just because of the level of fitness that you have. And to have that level of fitness, you got to think that's coming internally outwards. So you're projecting all these feelings. So no wonder why you can see when people are so fit, they actually have more confidence, and they have a lot of confidence when they're really fit, because it changes your mood, and all your insides from the outside blossoms out. And I think that there alone, I think is obviously a godsend as well. To feel that fit you can't explain it to anyone. They just have to feel like, there's certain people that would reach a level of fitness and be happy with it, whereas football, it's elite level fitness. So there's times where I was like, I can't even get any fitter, and the fitness manager would be non-stop repetitive, and you would just actually realize, be like, oh, actually I have got a little bit more. Then you'll get to another level, then you'll be like, oh, I've got another level. And then there's just certain levels that you get to, and you're like, you can feel, you're like, right, I'm at my peak of fitness right now. And you can run up all day long and sprint and do all these like literally everything, multiple different directions, and recover really good, and then carry on again. Monday training, Tuesday training, maybe Wednesday or Thursday training, Friday training, Saturday game. And that was my whole entire life until the age of like 30.
Yeah. I mean, there's always a next level to reach.
Yeah.
So now I'm here, I'm looking at your LinkedIn right now. Wait, where did it go?
Oh yeah, you'll see. There's a post on there I just put on, and that's that's one of the guys that I played with at MK Dons, basically a football team. He was playing with me. He was a bit younger than me, but in terms of what you were saying is, where's obviously football brought you to now is, now I'm in business, and we own our own facility that trains athletes, and I'm actually with one of the guys that I used to play with.
Nice. That must be really nice to be partners, working with somebody that you knew from the past, and now you guys are doing business together. That must be really nice. So let me see.
Yeah. The gym's like, we wanted to pick an American style as well, American influenced gym. That was, it's like a S&C facility, so it's American style. That's what we're going for. We love the double shutters and also the American theme and how they sort of conduct themselves in sport. I love it.
Yeah, it looks really nice. I haven't got it. I haven't been able to see it yet because I just haven't seen it yet. But I'm gonna look into it. Yeah. Congratulations on that.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. So, for lead coach featured, you've been featured in 442. I want to talk to you about that after. But sports mindset coach, being down here in Florida. I mean, like even with COVID, everything is a mental aspects first, right? That's where everything starts. So you being how long have you been a sports mindset coach for?
So I'd say, I would even just say, for me being a sports, I would say it's hard to say because of my career, it's kind of implemented it in my brain without me even knowing, just because of the experiences that I've had. So I've actually been coaching people on their mindset, and even the average person, for a very long time, for let's say last 7 years. I'm 37 now, and just coaching them, just taking a different aspect. But in terms of just for these athletes, this has probably been the last sort of almost a year, just going through actually coaching mindsets to actual real athletes, rather than your average person. Because I think sometimes when you think about your average person, an athlete's mindset is insane. like the average person doesn't think the way we would think in terms of need to get to a level of fitness. Like they would possibly just be happy with, oh yeah, I've just got a little bit of a couple of packs and I've got I feel kind of fit. Like we're not stopping at that. We're like, I'm reaching this level. Like I'm here at the minute. I feel good about myself. I know there's more. Like we always push ourselves, and I know there's more. I know there's more. I know there's more. And there'd be a certain limit where we'd be like, oh, actually, now I've reached it. And I think that's the difference between sort of like your average Joe, say, and your sportsmen and women. They just have a different mental outlook on life and in fitness as well, and just a different mental aspect as well. I just think that you become a lot stronger in that terms of getting knocked down, and the only way you can be is positive in sport. Otherwise, if you're negative in sport, then you're either going to lose or you're on the losing team, basically. And no one really wants to lose. They might say, "Oh, you're trying to be a sportsmanship," but if you ask all of them deep down, no one wants to lose.
Yeah, I 100%.
Never ever. Not one game, not one training. I didn't want to lose no training sessions. I didn't want to lose a training game. I didn't want to lose in a match. I didn't want to lose not one single thing, because you don't want to get used to that losing mentality, and that feeling of losing as well. It's the worst feeling. And I think you just want to get past that and actually be like, I want to win, and I want this winning mentality, and I want to feel this way all the time. There will be times that you lose, because obviously the way you bounce back from it, you just don't want to get used to losing.
We could dive so deep into that, because it's like, all right, you can have the mindset of always winning, related to Michael Jordan, winning. But what about the outside influence or outside things that you can't control, right? You could only influence, right, by motivating, say, hey, do your job, or, come on, pick it up, this, that, and the third. But, when you're saying winning, you put it all on yourself, or is it, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna do everything in my power to make sure that we win? Like, how do you go about it?
Yeah, I think for me, I probably just throw my all, and I will, if there was possibly someone not doing something, I would try and do my job and try and do their job, just to try and help them out, because obviously you get built into a team sport. So you're like, right, if someone's not doing the job that you think, or they're struggling, then it's a term of, right, I can help this person and still do my part as well. So whether I need to get some crosses, or I need to score a goal, or whatever it may be, I could do that. But there's nothing stopping me from helping someone else as well. So I think it's because of sport and because you're in a team game, you do have that aspect. Whereas like, say for instance, like boxing and stuff like that, it's like, right, you get in the ring, there's no one else. Whereas when you're on the pitch, you still got other people to be mindful of and try and help out as well. You're not just helping yourself. So I think that kind of makes you grow, and that's another aspect of football that brings the mental side of it with sort of when you're growing up as well. Is that care and that dedication to not just yourself but to others as well around you.
Okay, so that I mean, those are all the questions, Wade. I really appreciate you taking the time to let me interview you. Where can the viewers find you?
No worries. So I'm on Instagram on Smallzy, which is my second name, Small, Smallzy_WKS. And then we are on Instagram. My business page for the facility that we train athletes in is champions.in.action. And that's on Instagram as well. And also, obviously, I'm on LinkedIn as Wade Small. And that's it, really.
Yeah, and just let them know about the gym again. What you're doing with the gym and where you are.
Oh yeah, so basically we're in the Midlands in Rugby, and we train boxers. We have S&C coaching, and we get basically people ready, fight ready, game ready. We do camps there. We just done a camp for Chris Congo, who's a welterweight. We got another heavyweight on the cards as well. So we got a few. We had a netball player. We have, and that's the thing. It's just not just football based or soccer based. It is all sports we deal in with. We have a sandpit in there as well, which is unusual, but we understand in terms of like what a sandpit can do to training. So I think with it, we've brought in our experience through football and some unorthodox type, not your usual treadmill and cross trainer in the gym type thing, because we realize that it's not the cross trainer and treadmill that gets you fit. It's the person inside. So yeah, we have a good sort of equipment based, and it is the way forward. And we've kind of looked and had experience on a load of different sort of equipments and stuff, and seeing what is the best thing, and especially for athletes, because I think sportsmen and women, we train differently. We can't just squat and just do a lunge and then that's it. Like it's totally different. You reach different depths, and I think what is different is that you have to learn how to be able to train under fatigue, because there's not one time you'll be in a game and you'll be running with the ball and you'll put the foot on the ball and you'll be like, oh, hold up 1 sec. I'm tired. Give me 10 seconds so I can recover. It doesn't work like that. So that's the major point in our training as well, is learning how to train in fatigue. So that is sportsmen and women alike.
Wade, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Okay.
No worries.
I'm gonna pause the recording. That was it. That was amazing. I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.